And that's bad. I feel embarrassed in front of people because Carter used to say I have one handicap. I graduated from Yale and not from Harvard. But Talal was invited by Harvard, but he chose to go to Yale. So this is where people that come out of school can go. That is a certification of the quality of education of this school. When somebody called Talal Abu-Ghazaleh Jr., which I have a problem with, I have a problem with him. You know, when he was about 15 years old, Talal Jr., he used to insist on calling himself Talal, and Talal Sr., and I'm Talal Jr. So when the mother used to, when his grandmother used to call Talal, he would say yes. She'd say, no, I want Talal Sr. He says, I am Talal Sr. So it was very embarrassing. So we went into negotiations, and I gave them $100 to buy my name back. So I became Talal for $100. Well, he regrets it now because he realizes now that the name Talal Abu-Ghazaleh is worth much more than that. So he feels sorry that he sold that position. But he insists on calling himself Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. I said, why don't you add Junior? He says, no, I don't want to add Junior. Well, then add Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. He says, no, I'm happy with my name. I say, well, then there is confusion. He said, if you want to avoid confusion, change your name. I'm quite happy with my name. Anyway, so Talal is a problem, and I'm worried about particularly if he does something obscene at the university, and all over we hear on Reuters, Talal Abu-Ghazaleh committed this offense at Yale, and then everybody will think it's Talal Abu-Ghazaleh because this is the disadvantage of having a famous name. So anyway, what we will get to was this young man who was, not young man, a young boy at 10 years old when he was doing his walk, he was thinking, what should I do? What can I be? And it's about time you decide what you want to be. Don't say, well, we'll see, I will graduate, etc. I decided at the age of 10 that I want to build something which can become the largest thing in the world. I didn't know exactly what, but something that would prove to the world that we, the Palestinians, deserve respect. And in a way that can be competitive in a field that is not one of making money nor of having political influence or any other aspect, but excellence in something. So I decided I want to do something. Now, if I have any success, well, I'm sorry, but I'm supposed to speak about something serious every now and then, so I will cheat and say something serious. Talal Abu-Ghazaleh was referred to by the press as the global professional and educational empire. This is what agencies, news agencies refer to us. And if you go to the website, you will find that this is, if you go to, if you Google or go to Wikipedia or anything, those who, I'm delighted, by the way, I shook hands with a young man who never heard the name Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. I'm delighted when I meet somebody who doesn't know Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. Because as I came now, I was in Cairo, I flew this afternoon to come and talk to you. I must have shook hands with everybody on the flight because they all knew Talal Abu-Ghazaleh. But okay, I will excuse you because you're ignorant. And ignorance reminds me of Jiha. You know, in our history in the Arab world, there is a mythical person called Jiha, about whom a lot of stories are told. And Jiha was invited once to make a speech like me today. And when I asked our hostess as to what I should be talking about, she said anything. So I was wondering what to talk to you. So Jaha, the story goes, came, and because he was confused like I am, he didn't know what to talk about. He asked the audience, do you know what I'm going to talk to you about? And they said, yes. He said, since you're all so knowledgeable, it's a waste of time for me to talk to you. And he stepped down. So they invited him again. And he asked the same question. Do you know what I'm going to talk about? And they said, no. He said, since you are so ignorant, it's a waste of time talking to you. And he stepped down. The third time they said, we're going to catch him this time. So when he asked the question, half the audience said yes, and half the audience said no. He said, in that case, those who know will tell those who don't know, and I don't need to talk to you. I am tempted to do the same today, but unfortunately, I am afraid that I will lose my my image as a speaker, and I do a lot of speaking. I speak at least twice, 3 times. I have 2 speaking engagements tomorrow, so I'm becoming like a free spokesman or speaker, and I don't get paid for it, unfortunately. I even use my car and use my gasoline to come here to speak to you. They didn't even pay me for the trip. So, but anyway, so I can afford it. So I will be continuing to doing this speaking pleasure and continue to inflict the pain on my audience. So if you feel very painful, it's okay. This is what would make me happy, because I like to inflict pain sometimes. I like to provoke, and I like to make my audience uncomfortable. This evening, I don't know what I'm going to do with you, but one of these things. Anyway, I think what we're here to do is to try to talk to brilliant young boys and children, and boys and girls, and I think that's what you think you are. Not necessarily that you are, but you think you are. You think you are young and bright. So keep thinking. It's if it makes you happy, go on thinking. And on top of that, I'm sure you all think you're beautiful and handsome as girls and boys. Again, it's okay. There is no harm in that. Look at the mirror and admire your beauty and your handsomeness, and that's if that pleases you. But what matters here today for me is if I can get one of you to become a Steve Jobs, if I have the hope that one of you, and there is no advantage with a Steve Jobs over you. There is nothing that he is excelling that makes him better than any one of you. All the brilliant leaders of the knowledge age, and by the way, I'm happy that I'm talking to digital immigrants like myself. None of you was born as a digital native. The United Nations now is doing some statistics every year in every country about the number of digital citizens and digital immigrants. The digital citizens are the young children, the babies, who in the laps of their mothers and fathers learned information technology with their milk. 2 years, 3 years, and 4 years baby who steals the IT tool from his mother, whatever it is, and plays with it and teaches himself how to use it. This is what is known as the digital native. I think all of you are too old to be that, like myself. I'm an ancient digital immigrant. The digital immigrants are those who learned to enter in the world of information technology after they have become grown-ups. I introduced myself, and this is what I want you to know, that if you want to be anything, you need to introduce yourself, not to be introduced. You need to lead yourself, not to be led. I took my first computer course in 1962. None of you here was born at that time. And that was in a little village outside London called High Wycombe.